Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Today is the 22nd of April. And this is, believe it or not, the 79th episode of season 3 of the Be Your Own Hero show. HERO, just a reminder, is an acronym. It means helping everyone reach optimism. In other words, helping others helps you. There it is on my chest, the HERO hoodie. Here we go. So, I'm your host. I'm sekouwrites. I'm a professional creative, which means I do a lot of different creative things. I'm an author, journalist, blogger, influencer, jewelry maker, filmmaker. Yeah, a lot of different things. And also the creator of the HERO Ministry movement. And that is my effort to uplift and inspire people in general, and specifically the unhoused community. So join me here Monday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. Eastern, 8:45 a.m. Central, and 7:45 a.m. Mountain to hear me talk about my journey of becoming my own hero, and more specifically, my journey of becoming my own financial hero. Shout out to New Thought Media Network for allowing me this space and this opportunity to talk about my journey. And if you'd like to make a donation to New Thought Media Network, you can go to N as in Nancy, T as in Thomas, media.org. You can make a donation there. They are a 501c3 nonprofit, so your donation is tax deductible. So all that said, quick disclaimer, I'm not a personal trainer nor my financial advisor, so do your own due diligence and just follow along on the journey. If this show feeds you in any way, please like, please comment, please share, and spread the news. Spread the news. So as I've been saying recently, I've been calling this a financial literacy show for artists and retirees. And mind you, I didn't come up with that until here at the very end of season 3, which is another testament to now is better than perfect. I say that at the end of every show. Now is better than perfect. Just move, because I never would have thought of that theme. Just sitting at a desk thinking, I never would have thought of, first of all, I never would have thought of making a financial literacy show, right? Let's start with that. Then making it specific to artists and retirees, never would have thought. So it's very important to just pull the trigger and start doing, because in the doing, other things happen. This is all providence. This is all a divine appointment, as my mom would say. This is all a divine appointment, how this is led to where we are now. Okay, I think that counts as my first sidebar of the show. All right, there we go. But it's Freeflow Friday. It's Freeflow Friday, so we'll just be free flowing all day. All right, so let's get into some HERO Ministry movement news. Let's start with the run streak. Today is day 326, and I am going to show you today's episode of the Run Report, my other show, my other much shorter show. So this is today's episode of the Run Report. Here we go. 1 second, I'm trying to get the play button to go. Run streak day 326. I've been running every day, at least a mile a day for now 326 consecutive days in a row. And we're coming up on the first official half. Okay. I see what I did. Oh, this is like the Mercury and retrograde situation. Okay. I think we got it. Now I'm going to add it so you can see it and hear it. And then we're going to play today's run report. Run streak day 326. I've been running every day, at least a mile a day for now 326 consecutive days in a row. And we're coming up on the first official half marathon tomorrow. My third half marathon, but my first official half marathon is tomorrow. I'm excited about that, and I feel ready. So, as I mentioned in the previous run report, the mileage for the week in terms of the training was 7 miles total for the week, but the program also included like 3 rest days, and obviously I'm not doing rest days because I'm running consecutively. So I tried to get my mileage just right to get 7. And I did it. As of this run that I just finished, I'm at 7.1. So I got my 7 miles. I didn't go over, well, a little bit over, but not much over.
and I am following the program as much as I can and still maintaining my run streak. So that the idea was to taper down and run fewer miles this week in preparation for the race tomorrow. So we'll see how that works out. First time I've done that. First time I knew that was something you're supposed to do. So therefore, it's the first time I've done it. All right, so run story. Maybe that is the run story. Well, here's two quick things. One, I have now partially inspired 2 people that I know of to start run streaks. 3. So that's exciting. So yeah, and I have advice to give because I've been doing this for so long. And you know, when you're doing something, you don't necessarily feel like you have advice to give. But yeah, I've got thoughts and ideas about how to do this because I've been doing it so long. Things that I might have done differently. That's number 1. Number 2, you never know who you're influencing. So my mom was up doing her exercises this morning, and my thought at the time was, I'm going to come out here and run 1 mile. I saw her doing her exercises, and I was like, well, let's push a little bit, Sekou. Let's get the actual 7 miles. Because if I had run only 1 mile today, which was my intention, I would have been less than 7. I would have been less than 7 miles for the week. But because I saw my mom out there getting it, I was like, all right, let's go ahead and push and get the 1.3. So you never know who you're influencing, is the point. All right. I think that's it. So I'm going to get ready for the show, the Be Your Own Hero show, financial literacy for artists and retirees. Check me out on YouTube and on Facebook, and the link is in the bio. And I feel like there's more to say, but maybe not. Maybe not. Just keep doing. Be a hero. Be your own hero. And remember, most important, that now is better than perfect. I'll see you on the show later. Run streak day 326.
Okay. Yeah, I saw your comment, Linda. You're having some trouble with Facebook. Yeah, I am too. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe Mercury's in retrograde, but I'm having some trouble here myself. Anyway, hope you guys could see and hear the run report. And I've got 2 comments about it. Yeah, I think just 2 comments about it. One, I wanted to circle back to what I said in the run report about inspiring people. You never know who you're inspiring. And so I got to tell, it's Freeflow Friday. I'm going to tell a couple short stories. So I've been doing the half marathon training, as you know. And a couple weeks ago, Anna was asking me. Anna is one of the other people in the training program, also training for a half marathon. So she was asking me about my run streak because she saw it on social media. And so we were talking about it. She was so perplexed. She was like, but you run every day? Like, what if you get sick? Like, what if you don't feel like it? What if you don't feel well? And I was like, yeah, every day. And then Antoine showed up. And I was like, he inspired me. And so she starts asking him the same question. Like, every day, though? But every day? But every day, no matter what, right? Like she was really trying to understand it, right? It's so funny because a week later, because we meet on Saturdays for our group runs, a week later, she was like, yeah, I'm on day 7. We were like, what? She was like, yeah, you guys talked me into it last week. I just didn't stop. I ran every day during the week. So shout out to Anna for just doing it, just grabbing the bull by the horns and deciding to do it. She's on day 12 today because I follow her on Strava, on the Strava app. So she's on day 12. And shout out to Bill. Bill is in Black Men Run. He's a Fisk graduate. I met him when he was there. He was one of the men who was there the very first day I showed up for Black Men Run. And I thought that I was about to do something, and those brothers just left me, just gone. So he was one of those guys. And he's been running longer than me. But Antoine and I have inspired him to start a run streak, and he's over 50 now. He's in his 50s in terms of days. So it's really cool to know that you at least have partially influenced some other people to do something like this. So that's pretty cool. So shout out to Anna and shout out to Bill. So I'm rooting for you. Let's all do this together. And obviously, Antoine has set the bar for all of us and inspired all of us. Okay. I said I was going to say 2 things. Oh, also, I learned something today while running. And my point is that when you do something every day, the learning doesn't stop. Today is day 326. I learned something for the first time today, and it was a small thing, but it's right on time though. I learned that I can trigger the recording, the video recording on my cell phone in a much easier way. Let's just keep it simple. In a much easier way. I did it by accident today, which is great because it'll be easier for me to trigger it for tomorrow during race day. Like, you never know what you're going to learn when you stay in something every day. The learning curve reduces itself. Like, you learn much more when you do something every day. All right, so that's another little sidebar. I'm keeping track of the various lessons that I've learned during this run streak, during the Sekou Hero charity run. And there's so many. And that's just the most recent one. The more you stay in something, the more you do it every day, the more you learn. Okay, shout out to Simone. I see you checking in. Appreciate it. Okay, so quick update on Mr. Charles. So Mr. Charles and I spoke yesterday. I was trying to meet up with him yesterday. He's a busy guy. So he said he had some things going on yesterday. And then unprompted, he asked me, so are you running in the marathon on Saturday? And I had to think. I was like, we never talked about, when I met him, quote unquote, he was in distress, right? So we never chit-chatted. And I was like, how does he know? I was running, obviously, when I met him, but I don't know how he associated me with the marathon. But I was like, yeah, I'm running. He was like, all right, so make sure you get lots of fluids and lots of pasta today. And I was like, yeah, I appreciate that. And I actually went out after that phone call and got some pasta yesterday. Make sure I'm getting the requisite amounts of pasta and water. Turns out he has worked with the marathon before. And so he was talking, so he gave me some inside scoop about how there'll be lots of tables with snacks and water, etc., during the race, and other things like that. This is the biggest race that I've ever been a part of. The races I've done before have been relatively small. So it sounds interesting. But I thought it was really cool that he already knew that I was going to be running in the marathon. Anyway, we're going to try to hook up today. It's a little awkward because I'm like I don't want to tell him. I don't want to give away the surprise. So I told him yesterday, I was like, listen, I have an Easter card for you. He's like, no, that's all right. And I was like, no. I got to give you this Easter card, which kind of sounds a little crazy, right? But hopefully we're going to link up today and I'll give him the surprise Easter card that's stuffed with cash. So hopefully that'll happen today. All right, that was a quick update on Mr. Charles. And moving on to the Dice Roll Challenge. Shout out to Margaretta. I see you checking in. Okay, so funny thing has been happening with the Dice Roll Challenge. People have been texting me, asking me what the numbers are. If they miss the numbers here, they'll hit me up or DM me and be like, hey, what's the number for today? I think that's hilarious. So two things. You never know what God is preparing you for, right? When I went to get my dice, I could not find a pack of just 2 dice. I got all kinds of dice. This isn't even all of them. I got a multi-pack of dice. So I can literally keep the number upright for each day, for all 5 days of the week. And then I can tell people like what the number is for the week. I haven't done that this week because I didn't think of it, but maybe next week I'll do that. So as of today, I think we're at about $10 for the week. If you're one of those people that missed the numbers and you just want to kind of add it all up, I think we're about 10 plus the die I'm about to roll. By the way, I just got these at CVS, Walgreens. They're at the local drugstore. So you can get your own dice and roll your own dice and do your own numbers if you want. You can branch out. Then you can even roll them on Saturday and Sunday, right? Get your extra money in. But until then, here we go. Rolling the dice. 6. Ending the day on a high note. 6 is the number for the day for Friday. So transfer your $6 or take your cash and move it to your money jar. All right. The reason we're doing this again is because the number one excuse for people not investing is that they don't have enough money to invest. Here you go. We're setting aside about the amount of a cup of coffee every day into an investment account, so that you can invest, because you must invest if you want to become wealthy. If you want to become even financially independent, like, don't be scared of the word wealthy. If you want to be financially independent, you must invest. You're not going to save your way to wealth. But I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let's get into the morning Zen. Okay. So as you know, if you've been watching the show, I've been talking about what I will now call the original 7-Day Mental Diet. The original 7-Day Mental Diet by Dr. Emmett Fox, not the one that's on Amazon Kindle that's been remixed and changed. So just to recap one of the most important things I read from this book today. I'm not going to talk about anything new. I'm just going to recap something we talked about this week. This is the most important idea for me. Here we go. You must be quite clear that this scheme calls for you not entertaining or dwelling upon negative thoughts. So it's the entertaining and dwelling that I want to emphasize. Don't entertain, don't dwell. Don't feel bad about having negative thoughts. Oh, I saw your comment yesterday, man. Yeah, don't feel bad about having negative thoughts. And I have done that myself. So give yourself some grace. Be gentle with yourself. Don't feel bad about having negative thoughts, but don't dwell on them. Don't entertain them. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't go start Googling something. Get off of Google. Don't go trying to figure out what happened. No. You acknowledge it and move on. And back to the story I read from this book also, if you're sitting at an open flame and a cinder lands on your sleeve, you immediately knock the cinder off. You don't even think about it, because you know that if you don't, it's going to burn a hole in your sleeve and ultimately you. Just knock the cinder off, knock the negative thought off, and keep moving. As many negative thoughts knock off all the negative thoughts that occur as quickly as they occur. Just brush them off, don't dwell, brush them off, don't dwell. So keep that with you throughout the weekend. You're not going to be able to avoid having negative thoughts. You're not going to be able to avoid having people bring you negative thoughts and negative news, but you can brush it off. You cannot dwell on it. All right? So that's the most important lesson I've gotten from the 7-Day Mental Diet thus far, period, but definitely for the week. Okay, so moving on to abundance. Let's do our affirmation really quickly. Let's see, where's our affirmation? Reminder, we're going to do this twice. So here's the first time. I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. And once more, with feeling, I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. Ashe and amen. And here's my reminder. If you only spend, you'll stay poor. If you only save, you'll stay middle class. If you want to become wealthy or financially independent, you must invest. It's not optional. You must. So that brings us full circle to what we've been talking about this week. We've been talking about investing, obviously, but we've been talking specifically about the Roth IRA and about my new analogy of the stock market being like Sam's Club. So if you missed this week, let me just repeat. The stock market is a lot like Sam's Club. It's a great analogy for me. I enjoy it quite a bit. As you know, if you've been to Sam's Club, everything's in there. They got guns, they got hunting knives, they got bow and arrows, they got propane tanks, they got all manner of dangerous things. But there's no one standing out in the parking lot in front of Sam saying, don't go in there. It's dangerous. Meanwhile, everyone's saying that about the stock market. Don't go in there. It's dangerous. No, it's just like Sam's Club. There are dangerous things inside, but there are also very healthy and helpful things inside. And one of the things we've discovered together recently is the Roth IRA. Now, to me, I'm going to run with this analogy even further. To me, the Roth IRA is like going to the pharmacy inside Sam's. Like, it's a specific, clearly defined area inside Sam's. I like that idea because, no doubt you've noticed if you started investing, the stock market is vast. It's vast. There's so many different things, right? So what I like about the Roth IRA is here is this specific area within the stock market that has specific rules. And I feel like that's a blessing for artists and retirees who have a lot of time and not much structure. It's nice to have some structure in this, especially in this new thing of investing, if it's new for you. So I like it a lot. I like that you have to put in X amount per year. Matter of fact, I called Ameritrade yesterday. I had some questions about the Roth IRA. That's who I opened my Roth IRA with, Ameritrade. I had some questions about it. And the woman on the phone was like, well, you know, you have until the end of the year to get your money in, to get your $6,000 in, right? So already I feel the energy of a goal. The goal is to get $6,000 in by December 31st. There's a deadline and a goal. And that's how things get done when you have a deadline and a goal. I can speak to that from my career, my experience as a runner. If you have a deadline and a goal, things get done much faster. So my intention is to, well, basically to do that. I've opened a Roth IRA. My intention is to fund it, fully fund it by the end of the year, which means to get $6,000 or $7,000 into it, and then start over for the next year. Now, quick thing. It matures after 59 and a half years old. But that does not mean that you can't contribute if you're older than 59 and a half. Because again, this is, I'm speaking to retirees too. You can put your money in the Roth IRA too. It doesn't matter your age. Once you open the Roth IRA and you start funding it, you have to fund it for 5 years before you can take all the money out or you incur a penalty. Again, I like this because there's a rule there. Like, put all the money you can put into it for 5 years. Like, it gives you a longer timeline, and it prevents you from nickel and diming your investment life. Because you're not going to get to $6,000 or $7,000 a year if you nickel and dime with 5s and 10s and just the dice roll challenge money. Put the dice roll challenge money in there for sure, but you're going to have to add to that in order to reach your goal, right? So I like the rules that are in place. Now, there are some nuances, like you can get money out if you really need it. You can take a penalty if you take everything out if you really need it. You can get your investment capital back out without incurring a penalty. Like there's some liquidity there. But the point is, you can go into what I've been calling the pharmacy of SAMs to the specific area and move in a specific way and stack your money efficiently for the next 5 years. And that's a pretty formulaic way of approaching investing. And what I suggested yesterday was the Dow. Like I still cannot believe that the Dow is only consists of 30 stocks. 30 stocks? All these years we've been hearing about the Dow, it's only 30 stocks, and they start at $40 per share. I mean, like that is my play. My play is to move. Well, I've got a couple of different ideas, but primarily to acquire all the components of the Dow, all one share each of the 30 shares available, 30 companies available in the Dow in the Roth IRA. And then also, I may move some of my other assets that I've already acquired into the Roth IRA and then see how much there is left between that amount and $6,000. Like, I really like the sense of having a goal, a definitive goal with a deadline. I can't emphasize that enough. I think that's good for all of us. Okay, that's me turning off my alarm. So I got to wrap this up. So let me think about what I really want to talk about before I close. Okay, 2 things I really want to talk about. One, I've been talking about Amazon this week. I mentioned that this book was free because I've started experimenting with using debt as a tool. I got an Amazon store credit card, even though I don't feel like I need one. And I've been buying stuff automatically with the store credit card and then paying it off immediately, right? That has generated rewards points. Rewards points paid for this book in full. And I told that story, and then Linda put in the chat that she and her husband discovered rewards points recently too, and that they were able to buy something that cost $200 completely on rewards points. So this works. This works, folks. So again, what you do is you apply for an Amazon store credit card. They're already giving you pop-ups every time you go onto Amazon anyway, right? You apply for that, you pay for stuff, and then immediately pay it off. Like, don't get stuck in the credit trap. Don't get stuck. Pay it off completely. All right, don't nickel and dime it. Don't pay the minimum. Pay it off completely. You still get the reward points, and then use those reward points to buy something in the store. And the next thing to figure out is, can you buy Amazon stock with Amazon reward points? Let's figure that out, because that would be the ultimate come up. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. And the other thing was, I realized, like, in the middle of the night, that I've got this race coming up tomorrow. It's half marathon, and I haven't associated it with a nonprofit yet. And that's kind of my thing. I'm on the Sekou Hero charity run. Like, this is about raising money for others. So this morning, I pulled something together, and I'm going to share with you. You're the first people to see it, because I literally did it right before the show. And I will show it and explain it as I show it. So this is what I created. Can you see that yet? Not quite yet. Let me add it to the screen. Okay. So last year, I volunteered with Brown Boys Read. This is an initiative that was created by Demetrius Short. And I'm going to show Demetrius Short, actually, who is the team captain of Black Men Run Nashville. There's Demetrius. That's Demetrius Short. He's the founder and CEO of the Transformation Life Center nonprofit and the team captain for Black Men Run Nashville. One of the initiatives of Transformation Life Center is Brown Boys Read. And so not only do we teach brown boys how to read effectively, but we also teach them how to run. Like, literally, the culmination of this event is a 5K for kids. How fantastic is that? So it gets them started both in terms of reading and running very early. So I couldn't be more excited about this program. I didn't get a chance to volunteer this year because of travel. And so instead of volunteering my time this year, I am volunteering my funds. So I'm dedicating my run tomorrow, my first half marathon, to Brown Boys Read. And since I just set it up a few minutes ago, I have not even made a contribution yet. So I know when I've done this before, people have kind of like jockeyed for position to be the first person to donate. So the position is open. You can still be the first person to donate. I'm going to drop the link into the chat to make it easy. There it is. Now everybody can just click and make a donation. So I'm excited to be doing it. I'm excited about that program. I'm excited to be supporting it in whatever way that I can. And also, it reminds me of my play in terms of name. My play is Brown Boy Mad, and so there's some synergy there in terms of like the energy of naming. So please make a donation. That's tomorrow's play. I intend to link up with Mr. Charles today, so I should have a report on that on Monday. I will definitely have a report about my first half marathon on Monday. There's a lot of energy around it. When I've done races before, it's just been like me and maybe another person or just me by myself. But now I'm part of this posse, this group of people who have trained for this. And so there's going to be lots of people out there that I know. I'm already getting text messages like, yo, when are you going to pick up your bib? And I'm like, pick up my bib? Okay, is that a thing? We got to go pick up the bibs? I thought they would just be there on race day. So there's a whole process. So anyway, I'm excited to do my first half marathon, and I'm excited to see what happens. All right, so it's time for prayer time already. Today's episode went by fast. There were a few other things I wanted to talk about. Maybe I'll roll those over to next week. But reminder, Sit with Reverend Melissa this week. Everybody should know this by now. She's calling it In the Beginning. So these were the episodes that we did on Facebook before there was New Thought Media Network, before any of the other bells and whistles that you see here. So there's no preamble, there's no intro. At 10:29, it's going to go right into the episode, and the episode is short. So make sure you tune in early to check it out. So I'll see you there. I'll be watching too. It's been fun for me to rewatch those old episodes because I don't even remember them anymore until I watch them. I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of remember this. So check it out. All right, so I guess that's everything. I guess we're gonna have to close it out. So keep doing, be a hero, be your own financial hero, and remember that now is better than perfect, especially in terms of investing. And I'll see you on Monday. Later.